Way.
You might as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special edition of Higher Thought. We're getting toward the end of the year. We've got, of course, I'm your boy, Nayday. You know, I'm always here. You know, I'm a staple of the show.
Thank God for staples. Things would fall apart without staples.
They would fall apart, definitely. But today, for the first time, we've got a special guest. We've been wanting to get him here for a while, but we've got Mobe. Is that what we want to go by?
Mobe is fine.
Mobe.
Hi, people. Mr. Mo knows.
Mr. Mo knows. Which, of course, Mr. Mobe is known as being intellectual. You know, he's sometimes a little abrupt and loudmouth. And
rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. Yes,
surely,
that pretty much sums it up.
He's our school's librarian. You know, so
that's right. I corrupt your children's minds. Thank you.
With good books.
Oh, nothing but the finest. No trifling trash in my library.
So, I mean, we want to get our viewers accustomed to Mobe here. And, of course, you can always call in 366-8950. I think you got to press 2 when you call in. Of course, that's going to be on the little graphic here momentarily. You know how we start things at like 6:06.
6:06?
Usually is when the show's like watching.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean,
you got to warm up the first, right?
Basically,
okay.
some
right.
BS.
You got to take care of the jock itch. I mean, you got
a little scratch here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
right. And the camera
needs.
needs to warm up. I mean, you know, it's all pretty creepy.
It is. You know, especially if you're doing it in front of the kids. You don't want to do that.
No,
you don't want to do that.
No.
But of course, we don't work at a school.
No.
So we're Nayday and Mobe here. So we talk about risque business. This is the #1 fake news show in Acadiana. Watch out, y'all. So Mobe, I want to let the audience get to know you a little better. So, I mean, you work somewhat in the education system. What is the state of education and libraries today, in your view?
The state of education is in a state of confusion. We spend way too much time testing our kids and not enough time teaching our kids.
30 days a year in this parish out of 180. 30 testing days.
30 testing days. Not only that, Jacob, in my opinion, the biggest problem with education is that we group them by age rather than skill.
Exactly.
Rather than skill.
Right.
Why am I teaching somebody with a 3rd grade level reading score, right?
Right.
Well, and there are a lot of antsy kids that might not need a ton of math and would be, let them be antsy.
I feel sorry for my smart kids, because they're bored. Because I got to teach to the middle of somebody that can't read to a really smart kid.
I'm going to call in.
Call it in. So how about that, folks?
Absolutely.
Right away, we've got some good stuff.
Books are, reading. Okay. Oh, my God, they have to freaking read.
And I guess we're getting into the state of libraries today.
Well, we got to transition.
And books in general.
Right, because if you can't read, you can't succeed.
Well,
it's just, no. Okay, I take it back.
Mom doesn't read Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall to the little baby as they go to sleep anymore because they're looking at YouTube Kids or whatever, or KidsTube, I think they call it. And
I don't know what they call it, but I read to my kids.
Yeah.
And my kids read.
You're a dying breed.
I'm a dying breed, and my kids read above grade level, but then again, we never baby talked. We gave them standard American English. So
that's good. So would you say you're more of a prescriptive grammarian or a descriptive grammarian?
Ooh, nice.
You
Nice.
like that?
Descriptive.
Descriptive. So how society talks.
Right.
Is basically how the language should be.
Right. Not how it should be, but what reality is.
What reality is. So words should be constantly added to the dictionary.
Yes, but the definition of certain words shouldn't change.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean,
racism.
Racism, the definition of racism shouldn't change.
No, it shouldn't.
Sexism, homophobia, those things have a foundation and they have a definite understanding.
I wonder why homosexuality doesn't have its own ism. Homoisms.
Because there's fracturing in the community, perhaps?
And maybe because John Lennon didn't believe in isms. He just believed in himself.
Well, Man, that's a lot to believe in.
It is.
Especially when a cheap 38 caliber bullet can end that thought.
You know, but I mean, like, hey, the
Sorry.
CIA was even offing people back in the 70s. Or actually, I think it was
Yeah,
1980.
let's back up
1980.
70s, 60s, 50s, 40s.
The Janis Joplins, and I don't know, did they really overdose on drugs? Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, probably.
Probably so.
Well,
It's not
you know Marilyn, she...
Well, Marilyn was, hooking up with the president. I
Right.
could see if she, maybe.
It's one of those things that...
In my opinion, the last good president we've probably had.
Dwight David Eisenhower. He was a Republican that warned us against the military-industrial complex.
Was he was pre...
He was
Kennedy,
pre-Kennedy.
though. Yeah.
Right. He understood the fact that...
Well, we had
those-
good presidents before Kennedy, but
Right,
I'd say
but
Kennedy was the last good one.
Okay, the last good one. Okay. I'm thinking in terms of, just in general, someone recognizing the fact that the system will serve those who provide security.
Well, every single president, in basically the last 50 years has increased the military budget.
Oh, yeah.
So
What are we at? $700 billion a year?
And that's just on the record.
Right. No,
that doesn't
no,
count your
that-
CIA.
right. No,
or
there
your
are
NASA or your-
there's the black budget ops. We know that part.
the
I know it's
drone
there.
program. The UFO program. You were talking
that's
about
right.
that
The
a little
UFO
bit.
program. That's right. The Air Force spent. I mean,
And they had these flying discs,
piddling
you know?
amounts of money, really, in terms of the whole scale of the military spending. But is there something there? And they're just not letting us know?
I'd
Are
say
they
so.
breaking it to us slowly? So
Well,
that
I'd say
when,
we're more and more so living in this Orwellian society that people are just kind of asleep at the wheel, and we're entertained by the media and kind of lulled asleep, and we don't realize that we are kind of economic slaves to a certain
So you're
degree.
saying that with enough TV, we won't feel the boot on our face crushing us forever?
Probably not.
Probably not. Maybe that's why I don't watch TV.
Maybe so. I mean, that's pretty smart.
I mean,
which I'm glad you renewed your Netflix subscription, by the way, because
Right.
we were doing that thing.
We share.
We share. I give him some Hulu,
Whoop, whoop.
and he gives me the Netflix, which I've been considering the $40 option on the Hulu.
Oh, my
Because you get
God.
live TV,
And no commercials.
sports, no commercials.
Right. The commercials is what blew my mind.
Sure. I'm
I'm
thinking
not,
about it. I mean,
I'm
because
not being disrespectful, but I'm watching a show. Here comes a commercial. It's like, wait a minute. Dude is paying and there's commercials?
Well, Hulu is pretty ridiculous on their commercials right now. I mean, like it's like 2-3 minutes of commercials. I guess on regular TV,
it's
you get
like
4
regular,
minutes.
but it's still like regular TV.
All right, so you mentioned you had kids, and
Yes,
how
I
is
love
it-
children.
what
Medium
is it
rare with
like
holiday
raising
sauce.
kids in the 21st century? Could you give
Oh.
Acadiana some tips?
Oh my God.
Because I happen to think that you've got some pretty awesome kids. One's kind of intelligent, outspoken, say what they, what she's thinking.
Right.
The other one's very sweet, good heart. And the other one I've never met, the oldest one.
Oh, well, I've got 2 older kids. I've got 2 younger kids. I've got 33, 32,
4.
and
I
then...
thought it was 3.
Oh, no.
Really?
Big Daddy tapped.
Well, yeah, 4 times.
At least
You hit the
times.
jackpot.
4 times that I hit the jackpot. And then I've got 17 and 15.
So raising kids in the digital age, what is that
Oh,
like?
it's tough. Oh my God. Of my young kids, the oldest of the 2, who shall remain nameless, her cell phone is like her security blanket. Just like Linus and the security blanket.
Sure.
If you took the phone away, there would be screaming and wailing and gnashing of teeth, and the angst would not end. So instead, I cut off the Wi-Fi access, and then I turn off the data access.
Sorry,
Her
you
phone
don't have
works.
a job to help pay the internet bill. But
Um,
speaking of which, we're going to be getting into net neutrality here in a second,
Oh,
and how your
ooh,
internet
yes.
bill could be changing.
Your internet bill will go up. I absolutely positively guarantee you your internet bill is going to go up. If you want to stream Netflix, if you want to stream Hulu, they're going to find a way to squeeze more cash out of your pocket.
Well, you know what? Let's just segue right on into that. Net neutrality has been repealed. Is that a good or bad thing? Okay, and that's the way most Americans actually feel right now about it.
And the most amazing thing is that of the industrialized nations of the world, we have the crappiest internet service, and we pay more for the privilege of having crappy internet service.
But we've got unlimited access to every site.
Okay, go to many European countries. You're going to have unlimited access, full data bandwidth, gigabit, 100 gigabit. That fiber that's going to feed you. Now, yes, they do censor. They do censor the Nazi stuff. That bothers me.
And that's kind of part of the negatives that come out of this, is that content will be blocked.
We, as Americans, and our First Amendment, have to realize that ugly comes with the good. And we have to speak out against the ugly.
But do we? Because most people don't know, and they don't care because the mainstream media doesn't cover that.
Anytime there's been an...
Unless there's an agenda.
Okay. Anytime there's been an alt-right meeting...
Control, alt-right, delete.
Control, you're right. There is a significant appearance of leftists. And I hate to categorize right and left, but alt-right is Nazi light. Okay? How can a country that its greatest generation fought Nazis now have a resurgence of the people who are buying into that?
And I'd say that's just the way the media portrays them, man. I mean, because, most grandma and grandpa aren't Nazis.
That's true.
Basically, they're wanting to uphold American values and the core system that we were brought up on, throughout our history of this country.
Right. And they want to make sure to enshrine their values.
It's Christian values.
Right.
Let's just be honest. It's Christian values.
And what about those of us that aren't Christian?
Which is the growing number.
And do they honestly acknowledge the atheists that died in foxholes? No. They say that, soldiers in foxholes find God. No. We just realize that we have been lured into a screwed up situation, satisfying. At some points you're fighting evil. At other points you are doing what the master says. And you're fighting a war that has no real value to you as an individual, to us as a nation, or to the general stability of the globe. It's not like we go into Afghanistan and take their resources.
What are you talking about? Yes, we do.
What, their heroin?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought the CIA had the heroin locked down.
Well, that's our government. We pay for that.
We do pay for that.
We pay for all of the drugs. The biggest drug dealer in the world is the CIA. And
welcome to the opioid crisis.
The opioid crisis.
Right.
This is another story we got here. Ultimately, the life expectancy of Americans, you would think, with all the technology, all the medicines that we take, like life expectancy is going up, right?
Okay, I know where you're going with this. Life expectancy has dropped statistically. Statistically, because of the opioid crisis.
Because of the outliers.
We have people that are overdosing on drugs anywhere from their mid-20s
over the last 5 years
into their late 40s, early 50s.
Mm-hmm. That is the demographic. Yes.
Right. And those people are dying, and it is causing the number to go down. But if you want to look at it in terms of social good, are they removing themselves from the population? Reducing the drain on social resources?
I disagree with you there to a certain degree, in that a lot of these people are prescribed these medications from their doctor, and they don't
got
know
a valid
any
point
better. You know, I mean, OxyContins, oxycodones, whatever, the Lortabs. You know, all of these have basically the same chemical compounds as heroin, and it's very addictive. Which, by the way, per capita, do you know the heroin capital of America? Or the opioid capital of
It's
America?
in West Virginia, and it's near...
Per capita.
Wheeling, West Virginia?
Actually, it is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
No!
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is also, per capita, the highest rate of AIDS in America.
Okay, well...
This goes hand in hand with the opioids.
Right, because you got a...
needle exchange.
Right, well, I thought it was hookers just trying to get their high.
Possibly hookers as well.
Right, well, okay, when I was a youngster...
And possibly LSU just sucking.
In the 80s, New Orleans was the place to go. If you wanted to see a show, you wanted to party, you meet girls,
any drugs.
You get your freak on. And come to find out just a few years later, New Orleans was number 3 in AIDS in the nation. Now, Per capita. I got lucky because I double bagged 90%
You got
of
to
the
double
time.
bag it in
Right.
New Orleans.
You got to wrap that.
You know, when you're
rascal.
meeting that stranger on Bourbon Street and you're taking it back to the hotel.
Right.
Double bag it.
Now, if you're going to the no-tell motel, one of those bags
Triple
should definitely
bag it.
go
Like,
around
wrap
the
your
head.
body in saran
plastic,
wrap.
pull it tight. No, okay, wait. No, I'm sorry. That's a movie. My bad.
Which actually, opioids, this was a little headline that we got. I guess we can kind of segue into the news here. Opioids now kill more people than breast cancer.
Damn.
How about that?
Damn. Okay, now, how many people do opioids kill versus how many people get killed by gun violence?
Well, gun violence is a whole different...
I know, but I'm looking for numbers.
Gun violence is actually down.
I know gun violence is down, but they paint. Oh my God, we've got this freak that shoots up.
It's propaganda bullshit.
Yes, propaganda.
Yeah.
Because if it bleeds, it leads.
Well, Australia is repealing their anti-gun laws. Actually,
are they?
Because it didn't work, and it did the opposite effect, as it typically does. You know, where are most of these mass shootings? In gun-free zones.
Right.
You know, it's because citizens that carry arms aren't there to protect themselves.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Better peace through superior firepower.
I guess so.
I mean, that's...
Well, I mean, that's one of our topics tonight is, we're doing a year in review, 27 stories of the year, and a lot of these have been the mass shootings, so, I mean, they had the mass shooting in Orlando at the gay club, which, it was proven that CNN
one's
had
pretty sketchy because dude
footage.
had his own homosexual...
They were carrying a guy... and he had apparently been shot in the leg, and then once they thought the cameras had been turned off, this guy sits down and he's dancing, and it's basically these paid crisis actors, so I mean, who's to say, but the people that were shooting that particular scene were crisis actors.
Right.
There's Craigslist ads going out, $15 an hour. Hey, what the liberals want minimum wage to be. $15 an hour to go be a crisis actor, basically, for these terror events.
Ooh, terror events?
Terror events.
Terror events. I'd like to get a job working a terror event.
$15 an hour?
What, $15? I'd do it for free, just for the fun of it.
Just go pretend you got shot, or
exactly.
Somebody strapped a bomb to themselves and hey, I got blown up, I'm laying on the ground.
Just don't dismember me, please.
Or there's a mass shooting. I've been shot a couple times. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. In the headlines today, also we had Trump. He just stays in the news.
Trump.
The UN.
Let's distract America from what's really going on. Wait, Trump tweeted something stupid. Now let's get busy doing under the table deals.
That's pretty much it. I mean, because we all know that the president doesn't really run the show. Basically he's a puppet for the big corporations, the richest people in the world.
Donald Trump is the McMahon of America.
He's the Vince McMahon of America, pretty much. But the UN has kind of come out and rejected Trump based on, first off, the U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital, because that's just political turmoil waiting to happen. But get this. Did you hear about the Atlanta airport, the biggest airport in the world, closing
Yes.
down the other day?
Power shut down for about 30 minutes, and Delta is suing Atlanta Hartsfield Airport for $55 billion?
It was longer than 30 minutes, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It was a few hours, but get this. This is the busiest airport in the world with backup generators just in case anything like this happens.
Wait, they've got generators, and the generators didn't kick on?
And they didn't kick on. What do you know?
Okay, that's pretty sketchy.
A plane flew in from Mexico City and landed right before the power went off and was gone, left midway through the power outage. And it was from a company that is related to an Israeli company, and they were wondering, hey, were they just coming to pick up some nukes or something? I mean, like, it was a fishy exchange of some kind. They shut down the airport for this airplane to fly. It was the only one.
Okay.
And it had
was
special
the
privileges.
only plane that flew out while the power
flew in
was
and
out.
out as the power was out.
Okay. See, that's news to me.
Yeah, man. I mean,
You don't see
check
that.
your sources, folks. Read up on the internet. You know, I mean, but ultimately,
Okay,
this
but
came out.
make sure the sources are legit. Alex
Really?
Jones is not a legitimate source.
I wasn't real.
I never said. I never said you were doing Alex
Actually,
Jones.
yeah, I've looked
But
at his
Alex
stuff,
is a fucking nutbag. I'm sorry.
Well, it happens.
Yeah.
It's public access.
Okay.
If it happens, it happens. We try to be PG-13
Right,
as
I know.
best as
It's
we
just-
can, but
it's just
sometimes
that man.
we just say fuck. You know?
That man. Jeebus.
Sorry. If your kids are watching, we know you're like washing your dishes and you probably got us on mute right now, you know, like, hey, we're trying to catch your attention.
Watch the two goofy guys on the interweebles going
On the interwebs. You know, put us on the books of faces. Whoa. So yeah, Trump staying pissing people off. How about that?
Oh my God. If we don't end up in a nuclear war with North Korea, I will be surprised.
But the way I think all these things work, man, is like we've met with North Korea, we've talked to their leaders, and we plan this stuff out. Or the leaders, our so-called leaders, are planning this stuff out years in advance. I think it was like that in World War II as well. I mean, Hitler walked free, man. Hitler walked free. He didn't die. He didn't commit suicide.
No, he went to Argentina and
lived
lived
in
out
the
his
mountains.
life. Right.
Yeah.
But Kim Jong-un, I think, is a nutbag. I think he's really worried about the regime surviving because we went into Tunisia with Gaddafi. What country? Gaddafi. Muammar. We go in and we upset the order. Muammar Gaddafi gets killed by people on the hood of a truck. Kim Jong-un does not want to be one of those leaders of a state that falls because America interferes with their internal politics.
We do. I mean, like,
No,
we
we
rig
do.
elections all across the world.
We rant and we rave because Russia did to us what we've done to other countries.
Yes. It's propaganda.
and
Go to
if
war,
you're-
ladies and gentlemen.
If you're dumb enough to believe what you read without soundbite, and let's repost this on Facebook, even though it's crap, you haven't checked any of the data, you haven't looked at any of the sources.
All an illusion.
Social media is screwing us, and we're willfully doing it.
Well, and we're talking 27 stories of the year. We've kind of talked Trump tweets. We've talked the North Korea tension. But what about this fake news, you know? I mean, like...
Oh, fake news!
Fake news!
Fake
I mean, which, by the
news!
way, we do boast on this show about how we are the #1 fake news show in Acadiana. But, hey, you know,
Right,
we're
well,
as real as it gets, actually.
we're the biggest, tallest, strongest, and it definitely goes down to our knee.
You know,
So,
we've got strong
see,
bandwidth,
yeah.
ladies, you know? So, the width.
Right, girth.
The girth.
Right, we're
We've got
girthy
band
news.
girth.
We are girthy news.
But the you know, even with the tax bill, you know, I mean,
Oh,
like,
jeebus.
oh, it's gonna help the middle class, ladies and gentlemen. It's not, you know,
Okay,
it's gonna
what?
help out them little corporations, that richest 1%. But
You
middle
had
class.
AT&T and a couple other companies promising to give money. So AT&T
Bonuses.
is going to give $1,000 bonus to all of its employees. Now look, $1,000 to each employee is a good thing, but is that going to cover how much money they're going to make
Without
off
they're gonna
of
make so
the
much.
tax rate
So much
reduction. If you're middle class, lower middle class like me, I mean, I make okay living, but it's not grand. I'm screwed. I'm completely and totally screwed. I'll spend 3 years getting piddling amounts of money back, and then my rates will go up. I'll pay more, and then when I retire, Medicare's going away because, oh my God, we have to reduce the size of the deficit, so let's do it by reducing social programs. Have I not paid into Medicaid and Medicare all my life?
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Should
And these
I?
insurances are shams.
Right. Oh, they are.
Shams.
They
don't
want
want to
you
pay anything.
Right.
They just want your money.
Right. They want your money, and then they'll. I'm sorry, we're not paying that. Matter of fact, we're not paying that at all. Dental insurance.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get in on the conversation, it's 366-8950. You're going to be prompted to press 2. Take a number 2 right there. 2017 stories of the year. We've gotten through
Oh
Trump
my God!
tweets.
Drop a deuce on us.
Not on us, but you can call in while you're dropping a deuce.
Okay,
I mean,
right.
like, all of our
Hey.
phones got shit on them anyways, right?
And Trump always likes to tweet on the dumpster anyway. So
I think he does. But
2
you
o'clock in
wonder-
the morning. What the fuck do you? What do
You
you
wonder
think
if
he's
that's
doing?
Trump. You wonder if it's Trump or if it's his advisor, just like.
I'm sorry.
tweeting
Nobody
the
else
thing.
can sound that idiotic. I mean,
Yeah,
he
you
talks
know.
like a 6-year-old.
Hey, but you got to speak to your audience.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, 6th grader, because I insulted 6
So we're talking 2017 stories of the year. We just went through our fake news. We've got all the propaganda with North Korea and Russia. We've had the investigations with James Comey, and actually, the big talk about investigations is this Uranium One investigation with Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. Apparently, helping out the Russians within a uranium deal.
Right. Now,
Hillary's dirty, y'all. Come on.
okay,
The Clinton Foundation
I'm not
is dirty.
saying she's not dirty, but what I am saying is that through the investigations that we've seen so far, 9 different agencies in our national government who had no connection to Hillary Clinton. These are career staff people who aren't going to make any money off the Clintons, signed off. Okay? And
Sure.
it's not an American company. Uranium One is a Canadian company who happens to
Good
own the equivalent of 20% of America's resources. Now, why does a Canadian company own 20% of America's natural resources when it comes to something like uranium? Shouldn't that be an American product?
Makes bombs, yo.
Exactly. Nuke them till they glow, then shoot them in the dark. I mean, you can't do that if other people have your uranium.
And you make some great points, man. I mean, but ultimately, I mean, we know Hillary's a liar. This is a way far-fetched conspiracy theory. Way far-fetched. But apparently, whenever Hillary had kind of the convulsion and collapsed outside of the car when she was getting in the car, apparently, she died. In this story that I saw.
Okay.
And she was seen, and it was documented, she was seen leaving from a cloning institute. So apparently, they went and cloned her body, and this is a Hillary double. that
Okay,
we've been
now
seeing.
see,
That's far-fetched.
Body double? I could buy a body double, but cloning to full maturity.
They have
I know you can.
technology,
I know
man.
you can clone, but then you've got to age it to what is she? 837 million years old.
Some people claim she's a reptilian, so it's
Well, in
possible,
that case. Now, if we only had those special effects to make the little black snake tongue come out, yeah.
If we did more preparation, we could get pictures and stuff.
Pictures and stuff?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
video.
We could do pictures
Pictures
and video.
I've had YouTube email me before when we play music. So
Oh yeah, you
they're
definitely.
no, you can't play Notorious B.I.G. So let's see. Moving on in our stories of the year, how about white power in Virginia?
White power?
Yeah, well, they had a white rally.
No, they had plenty of white powder in Virginia.
White powder. Yeah,
Hey.
in Washington D.C.
That's right.
probably.
Well, there's either Coke or meth. Take your choice.
Hey, they have their higher thought.
Right.
Over there as
You've
well.
got your diet and then your regular.
The rich people do coke, the poor people do crack.
Crack.
Crack kills, but coke thrills, right? Is what the politicians say.
It's the
maybe?
same drugs. It's just different
Basically,
delivery
yeah.
system.
Basically.
Yeah, well.
2017 Stories of the Year, National Anthem, Niels. What's your thought on it?
I stand for the national anthem.
I do as well.
I do not recite the national anthem.
Surely.
Because
I don't always.
the
One nation under God.
The way I was taught
That's
as a
pledge.
young man, the teacher that taught me, under God was not part of the pledge.
Well, that was added.
And
Like the 1950s or
1954, I think. But anyway, she learned to do the pledge without the under God, and she taught us to do the pledge the same way. It wasn't until I was in fourth grade that I heard the under God part.
something. Like, what is this?
Right, because for those of us that don't believe, it's sort of insulting, but I don't take it personally,
Well-
other than the fact that we are one nation,
But there is
undivided, with liberty and justice for all.
There's some, I mean, as far as the under God, there's somewhat evidence as far as us having intelligent design in the universe.
Okay, explain Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, I think Donald Trump is a puppet.
Ted Cruz,
Puppet.
Marco Rubio,
Puppet.
Mitch McConnell,
All puppet.
total puppet.
All puppets. Which, I mean,
I voted when I used to be a Kentuckian, and I voted against Mitch McConnell every time
that
because
guy's
he
crazy.
represented everything against my particular personal interests. And they keep electing this Nimrod.
Well, and what do you think about Samantha Bee recently saying that Trump's evangelical following is an Aryan death cult? And that's quotes. Trump's evangelical
The
following
evangelicals-
is an Aryan death cult. And they're basically the new form of Nazis, kind of as you mentioned earlier.
Evangelicals can be good people.
They really can.
They can.
but they can't be
they're-
judgmental, even though they're told in the Bible not to be judgmental.
Judge not lest ye be judged. Right.
Without a doubt.
Hey, just because I don't believe doesn't mean I haven't read the books.
Well, without a doubt. And you got to stay educated
that-
so you
that-
can have an educated
No, I mean that's
opinion.
how
Read both
that's
sides of the
how
argument.
I became non-religious, because I read the Bible. I read the Catholic Bible. I read the King James version. I read the Torah.
You quit drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes, because it was too sweet. Just too sweet.
Well, and you're getting
It made my
cavities from
teeth
all
hurt.
that.
Right. I had to end up getting a cavity filled all because of the Jesus Kool-Aid.
All right, next big story in 2017. You know, like, I just do those segues.
I know.
Gotta go.
Because you got to keep us on track.
The
one way or the
hashtag
other.
Me Too movement, it's taking out Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey. All kind of peeps are falling to this, I guess, sexual assault that happened in the 1970s and 80s. Is it just courting that is just gone out of proportion, or is it a witch hunt, or, I mean, what's going on here, Mobe?
I would say that the contemporary stuff should be vigorously prosecuted.
Contemporary, yeah.
Or investigated.
But it was different social mores
right,
in the 70s
in the,
and 80s.
In the 70s, I was known to grab a girl on the butt. And it was because I was trying to get her attention. I was trying to hook up.
Right. That's not saying that's acceptable
And-
by today's
by
societal-
today's standards, it's not. You don't
But
grab a girl
times
by
have
the butt.
changed. I mean, can you go back and prosecute somebody from like the BC era? Because they did a certain thing that you don't
Well-
agree with today. And just
Is Joseph worrying that Mary was a hoe?
I don't know. I mean, just like he took her word that it was,
he bought it hook, line, and sinker.
which it is somewhat the Christmas edition of the show, and I went into it last year. But ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow is actually today's the winter solstice, of course.
Yes.
Tomorrow,
Happy shortest day of the year.
Yeah, tomorrow actually from December 22nd to December 25th. Basically, the sun is pointed toward the Crux constellation, and
Right.
the sun dies on the cross and is resurrected on December 25th, and to where ultimately, Basically, the days get longer from December 25th on.
Okay.
And then it's not celebrated, though, until the spring equinox, which is Easter.
Okay. But you hopefully acknowledge the fact
that Christianity is based on...
that they steal pagan holidays.
Pagan holidays, yeah. Christianity is pagan.
Convert them into Christian holidays.
Allegories.
So that they can make the pagans believe that the Christian story they're selling you...
Look it up, folks. How many Jesuses have there been? You know,
6.
I mean, like, there that have 12 disciples... You know, that were born of a virgin, Mary, a virgin. Basically, when the sun is pointed in the Virgo is when the conception happened.
Well.
Immaculate conception. And, the 3 wise men, that's Orion's belt, essentially. Allegory.
We could pick a number of stars. Does it have to be the 3 in Orion's belt?
Well, I think that was the three adorned kings.
Oh, okay. So Orion is the king.
Yeah,
but if you weren't Greco-Roman, would you recognize Orion as being a dude with a belt?
I'm not sure. They've been tracking these stars for thousands, even millions of years.
But they've been tracking rise and set. And at a certain point...
Which Set was actually one of the Egyptian gods, the Egyptian god for the devil, basically.
Right.
You know?
It was not of the devil,
versus Set.
But
it was light versus dark.
Right. Well, you weighed the heart against a feather.
Right.
And if your sins, which were contained in your heart, were enough to make the feather rise, then you were condemned.
Temples of justice. Oh, right. The weights of justice or whatever. Right.
But... 21st is the shortest day of the year, but by the 25th, when you mark
resurrected
sunrise, you can definitely see by the 25th that the day has gotten longer. Mm-hmm. That's the shortest period of time that, with human eyes and basic mechanical objects, that you can see that the day is getting longer.
Without a doubt.
Now, do you want to turn that into Jesus and the
cross? It's
a
pagan holiday.
Yes,
it basically is what we're getting to. It's
Happy
a pagan
Yule.
Holiday.
That's right.
You know, Mardi Gras, pagan holiday. Easter, pagan holiday. You know, I mean, like,
Ishtar. That's right. She's the fertility goddess. Come on now.
Thanksgiving's a pagan holiday. You know, well, not necessarily Thanksgiving, but in that, like, the time that we have it is.
It is kind of pagan. It's not very Christian.
Yeah, you know, but ultimately a lot of our religious holidays are pagan holidays.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Let's see. We've already talked net neutrality. How about, this is a big story. What you got?
Football!
Foosball!
Yes! People beating their brains senseless and getting paid to do it.
Well, and actually they had a player get his brain beat senseless and get a concussion. And a team put him back in, and the Seattle Seahawks did that, I think, and they got a $100,000 fine.
Okay, did the man get the money?
I don't think he did, but the team and the NFL got the money. Which, by the way, the NFL is run by the federal government, right?
I thought it was run by the mafia.
They got bailout money in 2009. This whole national anthem thing... basically the players were in the locker rooms for the national anthems until 2009.
Yes.
And ultimately, like...
Right, they didn't come out on the field until it was time to play.
By our federal government, who gave the NFL bailout money. The NFL runs the NBA. The federal government runs the NBA. They run the NFL. They pretty much run all the professional sports. And
so is that why hockey sucks?
Basically, they can rig it to whatever they want.
Soccer, real football.
Soccer's been rigged for a long time over there in Europe. It's a big thing. But let's see, we covered the net neutrality. This is another big story, and you were talking about it earlier on. What are your thoughts on the Bitcoin?
Please, people. Right. It is the next big bubble. Don't buy Bitcoin long term.
Well, I've got some statistics here.
Do you now?
Yeah.
Tell me your statistics.
At the beginning of the year, Bitcoin stock was selling, at $1,000 at the beginning of the year. I guess for whatever
Per
exchange
coin.
they have. Yeah,
Right.
$1,000 for I think it was even a percentage. Oh, for one Bitcoin.
Right.
And now it's like broken down into the tenths.
Oh, yes,
of
you can
Bitcoin.
buy fractions of Bitcoins.
And we've got a call here, but at the end of the year, it is now up at $19,000 per year. And Corey, you're live on Higher Thought. What's going on? Is this Corey?
You already know who this is.
What it do, man? What it do? You were just waiting for us to talk about sports, huh?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I need a score.
Well, if you're talking about the New Orleans Saints this weekend, it's a really big game. Really big game. And Mo is not going to talk a lot on the sports, I would imagine. He doesn't pay much attention to that. But the New Orleans Saints have a huge game against the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, we're on top of the NFC South at 10-4. Carolina is also 10-4, but we've beaten Carolina twice, so we have the tiebreaker. And Atlanta's 9-5. So if we lose to Atlanta, Atlanta is now on top of the division.
I hope that don't happen.
You and me both, man. But it's kind of all kind of wacky scenarios because we got 2 games left in the season. New Orleans has Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Carolina has Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Atlanta has New Orleans and Carolina. So they all kind of play each other, and it could go any way right now.
Wait, don't the Buccaneers suck?
The Buccaneers do suck, but they had 3 good teams, though.
Okay, but
And they're all vying for 2 playoff positions.
Tampa Bay is the Bucks, right?
Yeah, they are the Bucks.
And I heard they sucked.
And they suck.
Right, so they're going to suck for everybody?
You're a Bengals man, right?
I did go to a Bengals game or 2, yes.
Yeah, actually 2.
2.
I need a prediction, please, sir.
A prediction, okay. I think it'll be a little higher scoring than the Thursday night game. I'm thinking you're looking at maybe a 31-27 Saints.
31?
I was about to say 34.
34-27?
See, I was thinking, okay, split the difference. Let's go 32-12.
32-12, maybe 2-point conversion.
32-12.
32-12. That's a 20-point game right there. I'd like that. I'd like that. Whoop them dirty birds.
I see it because we need to beat them. We need to beat them bad.
That's it. Beat it till it bleeds.
I totally agree with you, Corey. So, what's been the biggest story for you so far in 2017? What's kind of caught your attention outside of sports, Corey? Because I know you're a huge sports fan.
What kind of combine?
Do you even pay attention to the news, Corey? I mean, or do you not even waste your time like
Yeah,
that?
a little bit.
Okay. Have you gone to see Star Wars yet this year?
No, but I heard it's a good little movie and I want to check it out.
Yeah, I didn't really want to mess with all the crowds last week when it first opened.
Exactly.
And I imagine they'll still have crowds for Christmas week this week. But I would like to see it hopefully in the next week or 2.
Right.
You know?
That's my plan is post-Christmas. That
Maybe a
way,
post-
all the idiots will, I'm sorry, the
Well, you
fans
can probably catch
will-
it tomorrow because a lot of people are going to be working on Friday.
Bonus. That's
Yeah.
right. And I don't have to pay for the kids to come in.
And a matinee,
And I can eat all the popcorn I want.
Yeah, are you able to do senior citizen yet?
Not yet, but I'm getting close.
Hey, you can probably lie.
Wait, 55? Is that senior
I don't know.
citizen?
What is senior? Is it 55?
I don't know. Old enough to know better, but young enough to do it anyway?
What's up with the wrestling show, y'all?
With the wrestling show, well, I know Billy Boudreaux has had some kind of health problems, and he's been kind of doing his wrestle show. I think it's Wrestle Gamer or whatever on YouTube that he does the wrestling show. Of course, we all know about Mark, which was one of our sadder stories of the year, of course. And I've been watching wrestling a little bit, but ultimately we just don't have a show right now.
It's gonna come back.
Well, we'll see if Billy's health gets a little bit better. I think he was having to maybe get a hip replacement or something, but if he asked me to do the show with him, I might do it.
Oh, yeah, bring it back.
Well, yeah, Corey, we appreciate the call, man, and hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, you too, big dog.
All right, well, take it easy, man. Happy holidays.
Oh, y'all too.
All right, thanks,
Adios.
man. All right, so let's get today in history. We're getting there. We got about 10, 15, 11 minutes left, something like that. So today in history, and you can kind of just tell me your thoughts, on each thing.
We had a brief discussion earlier.
I think I only got to the first one.
Right, that's true, but
1620, the Mayflower Pilgrims arrived on Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts.
Okay,
the first whiteys, I guess, to kind of settle.
The start of the big genocide?
Well, I mean, according to Thanksgiving tradition, we had turkey with them.
Right, but we know that's a lie because...
Maybe, we cooked some Indian.
No, I think we probably just killed some, took their stuff, and ate it.
Probably so. But people do crazy stuff when they're hungry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, your dog looks mighty tasty, so if things got bad, it's barbecue time.
I would eat the dog, I mean, hey, it's barbecue. 1891, the first game of basketball was played with 18 students. Basketball was a different game.
Now, is this Abner Doubleday doing basketball? Is he the one that did basketball?
James Naismith.
James Naismith.
James Naismith.
Okay, wait. Abner Doubleday was the baseball dude, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
So I thought it was a peach basket.
It was peach basket basically. It was just kind of like our laundry baskets a little bit. It didn't have a backboard, and they had people on defense and then they had people on offense, and you could only run to half court. And so it was a little different. They had 18 people on the court to
That's
start it
crazy.
out. Yeah. So basketball has kind of changed a lot in the last 20 years.
Wait,
like
if
that.
you're not back then you weren't 7 foot tall and
no, it was
couldn't
a bunch
fly
of
through the air
whiteys.
with
It
the
was a bunch
greatest.
of whiteys doing it.
Oh, so it's kind of like UK's basketball team while Adolph Rupp was coach.
Pretty much. But speaking of which, we'll get to the Negro Babe Ruth here in a second.
We have a Negro Babe Ruth?
There's a Negro Babe Ruth. His birthday was in 1911.
Wow.
We'll get to that in just one
I'm
moment.
looking forward to that one, people.
1909, the first junior high school in America was established in Berkeley, California.
Oh, my God. You mean we're going to educate those children past the 6th grade?
Past 6th grade?
I mean...
Man, get the kids on the farm.
They can read, they can write, they can go to freaking work.
I mean, yeah, they were driving and at age 10. And
somebody's got to drive the hay wagon.
As soon as they can reach the pedals, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1913. You'll like this one. The first crossword puzzle was published in the New York World magazine.
The World?
Yeah, I guess that was
the New York Times is my crossword puzzle.
Right, I guess
do
it's
it
the
in
competition
ink.
for the Times, and the Times
It's one of those things.
It's hard. I
Okay.
usually only get about 60% of it. 60 to 70.
Vocabulary. Vocabulary is the key.
Yeah.
And New York Times crossword puzzle doesn't rely quite so much on contemporary reference.
Sure.
I mean, when you talk about pop culture stuff, when you stop giving a shit about pop culture,
you don't really know
some
that
of those
kind of stuff.
crossword puzzles are just...
what does that mean?
I don't even... okay, we get people at the library, we get us at the library. These people on the cover, I don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't watch TV, I don't
kids
listen to
that
that
tell
crap.
me who Ariana Grande is, and I'm like, okay.
Isn't that one of those things that you get at the Chipotle?
Yeah, or Taco Bell or something.
And then you
Ariana
pour
Grande.
the extra super hot sauce on it?
It's something like that. How about this one? 1929, the first group hospital insurance plan. And they've been ripping us off ever since.
Exactly. They want your money and they don't want to pay to cover the bill.
Pretty much.
Hey,
why don't you pay us a bunch of money just in case something happens? But when something happens, we're not going to really pay it.
No. I'm sorry, that's denied.
1937, the first full-length animated film.
Disney.
I guess the movie?
Steamboat Willie.
Actually, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. I've got that.
First full-length feature.
I have all of the Disney canon.
That's quite a collection. Which, if you didn't know, Disney's about to take all their stuff off of Netflix and create their own.
Good for them.
Channel.
All they want is your money.
They want your money, too.
They want your money.
Everybody really wants your money.
Go to Disneyland, go to Disney World, but you better be packing stacks. If you don't have racks in your pocket,
or you better be handicapped. You know,
Or no, I'm sorry. You need to be handy capable.
handy capable to where you can get on the ride still. 1968, Apollo 8 launched the first man-to-moon mission. Did it happen?
No.
Some conspiracy theorists.
No.
Say it
Wait,
did.
which one burned?
I think that was 6,
With
maybe.
Gus Grissom and
I think that was 6,
Chafee,
maybe,
maybe?
yeah. 2012, the first YouTube video with 1 billion views.
Video killed the radio star.
2012.
Oh, damn.
First with 1 billion views.
Billion
YouTube.
views.
YouTube.
YouTube?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. I thought you said YouTube.
First, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. YouTube. First video with 1 billion views.
It had to have a cat.
2012. It's Gangnam Style.
Oh, come on.
Yep. Yeah. How about that?
Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry.
Is that the Gangnam Style dance?
Something.
I don't know.
I can ride that pony.
Getting into quick birthdays. Happy birthday, people that are probably dead. 1911, Josh Gibson, the Negro Babe Ruth, had over 800.
Josh Gibson.
Yeah, had
Okay,
over
I've learned a
800
new
home
one.
runs. 1935, Phil Donahue. You know, smash a chair over somebody, right?
Phil Donahue, he's married to Marlo Thomas.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both look pretty skanky right about now.
1937, we would have boned her in the 60s. Jane Fonda.
Oh, yeah, in a heartbeat.
She's still probably a gilf, you know?
Yeah.
She's a gilf.
Yeah. I would definitely put her in the I wouldn't throw out of bed for eating Oreos category.
Without a doubt.
Matter of fact, I'd probably buy her Oreos.
I would dip my Oreos in her
No,
milk,
yeah, right. It's double stuffed.
The double stuff. Let's see. 1940, good one. Frank Zappa.
Woo, woo!
Enjoy his music.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Mobes, a punk rocker. I forgot to mention that. 1948, Snakes on the Motherfucking Plane. Samuel L. Jackson. How about that? And you can't say that.
How
but you guys watch it,
how
so that's all
old is
good.
he now?
1948, so that'd be almost 70, 69. Wow.
Hey, that works out.
1957, I wasn't a fan of his show, but Ray Romano made the list.
Ray Romano sucks.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
1965, Andy Dick. You remember him? He kind of sucks
the
too.
pervert, but yeah.
He was funny sometimes.
Yeah.
1966.
With a name like
I've heard
Dick.
he's kind of a schmuck, but I watched one of his TV shows, The Designated Survivor. Kiefer Sutherland, or Beaver Sutherland, as I like to call him.
Beaver, Kiefer. He's got like 11 middle names or something crazy.
Yeah, and I've heard he's kind of mean on the set, and he's like only like 5 foot tall and has to stand on stands to film.
Well, him and
scenes
Tom Cruise.
stuff.
I mean,
Yeah, it's Bobo. Let's see. Getting into some research. How about that? We're out of this day in history. Apples and tomatoes can help ex-smokers' lungs heal. Research now shows.
apples and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, so can
They
putting
clean your
down
lungs.
so can putting down the cigarettes and picking up a vape.
Yep. Let's see. Folks, be sure not to give your dogs chocolate. Chocolate poisoning risk is the highest during the holidays.
That's right. Dogs love chocolate. Dogs die from chocolate.
That sucks, too. Yeah.
Peanut butter. Give
Don't
them
let them
peanut
get
butter.
in the stockings, folks. Let's see. Eating fish is linked with better sleep and higher IQ. What do you think?
What? What? It depends. What kind of fish?
Salmon, I guess.
But
don't
isn't
know
that where you
why.
get salmonella?
That's true. That's true. Gay teens,
Hey, gay teens.
4 times more likely to attempt suicide.
Yeah, I can see that. They're bullied. They're ostracized. They're castigated.
Why are they still bullied? Didn't being gay cool nowadays?
No, because you're a fag. Quit being such a fag.
Such a fag. They got a kid in my class that wears makeup. He's
Yeah.
a boy. You know.
Yeah, I know.
You know him.
Yeah,
He wrote you the thank you letter. Did
Yeah.
you get that?
Yeah, I did.
That was from my class.
Yeah, that's cool. Because he comes in and he can paint his nails in the library, and I don't freak out because I don't
care.
give a shit.
I teach it in my
Care.
class too. Like I've had kids saying like, "Oh, transgender people going to hell," and I was like, "Okay, well, you know, who are you to judge?" You know, I mean, like, basically, if they don't affect your life in any way, what does it matter?
Right.
You know? Let's see, bees.
Bees?
Bees.
Bees.
1/3 of the world's food population depends on pollination from the bees.
Darn Skippy.
It's a $265 billion annual business.
Yes.
Since the 1990s, however, in the United States, bees are down 40%.
There's the mite.
25% in Europe, 45% in the United Kingdom. Is it due to pesticides, agriculture? What's going on here?
Well, you got pesticides. That's an issue. There was the mite. That was an issue. I have a friend who's an apiarist, Erica. His deal, he raises bees. Where he lives, they can get enough, but he's trying to build up his colonies so that he can take them out and rent them to people to pollinate their crops, and in return, he gets honey.
Honey.
And damn good honey it is.
Make some good honey. Make some good honey. Well, we just about wrapped up the show. We've got about 15 seconds left. Mob, we appreciate you coming on the show. And
pleasure's all mine.
Hey, we might be back next Thursday. It's a possibility. We're off. But, yeah.
Off? Yeah, we've been off as long as we've known each other.
And hopefully you'll tune in next season. Much love, Acadiana. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays.
And if it's your birthday, happy birthday.
A lot of people's birthday. It would suck for your birthday to be right now.
I had a friend whose birthday's on Christmas.
You don't get crap for presents.
No, she actually got double.
Double presents?
She got double presents.
Double presents.
Double presents.
These are still streaming on YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, well, in that case.
Motherfucking shit, goddammit, piss. I don't know.
Shit, piss, fuck, cocksucker,
motherfucker.
Oh, man, I got to take a leak myself.
I know. I think it was because I had to take a piss.
Is there a Shishwa around here, or do we have to go out in the parking lot?